Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Black and Gold Show, live on Sports Talking with JB. I'm your host, JB. This is Game 2, Episode 2 of the season. And, of course, we are sponsored by the Yard Apparel brand. Get all your gear, just like this shirt I'm wearing right here. All your good Bama State gear exclusively at the yardapparelbrand.com. Right there. Shouts out to everybody who's made a purchase so far and everybody who plans on purchasing in the future. But this is where you shop for all your exclusive Bama State gear. And we about to get right into gear from the jump. Speaking of the Yard Apparel brand, they right there in the chat, baby. What's going on? Yes, sir. So we want to welcome everybody in, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a great show. All my people out there, I got a familiar face to the SWAC, man. This man right here, he does a show, SWAC Talk, SWAC Smoke, got his own YouTube channel, his own network, and this is the tour guide of the SWAC. Ladies and gentlemen, my special guest tonight, Mr. C. Wells.
What's up, everybody, man? What's going on? Of course, the tour guide around the SWAC, C. Wells, holding it down. Man, gotta stop in and hold it down, my boy JB. I'm ready to talk a little Bama State Southern. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, let's go.
Yeah, it's going down, man. I appreciate you, C. Wells. You know, I started off, you was the first person to bring me on your show in the HBCU community. So, you know, I'm always going to show love to you. And I started watching you guys a few years ago, a couple years back. And I was hooked the first time I started watching SWAC Smoke. So, hey, I've been a fan for a minute, brother.
Hey, I'm just glad to be able to help, man. Like I say, you know, this community, it ain't big in terms of content, people. So when you can help somebody, even if you don't know it, if you can help somebody, man, it's always good. And like I said, I love to see the work that you putting in, man. You done grew this thing. And hey, I enjoy it, man. So like I told you before, anytime you need me, man, I'm here.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Number love. Shouts out to Hornet Sam, man. He said, welcome to the nest. Welcome, C. Wells, to the nest, baby. You in here now.
Hey, I'm going to hold it down, man. Shout out Bama State, man. I got a lot of love for Bama State. My boy DJ was there for a while. So, you know, we always gonna hold it down, and we don't cross paths too much in football, so you know it's always love. You know, now basketball is a different story, but you know football, we don't cross paths too much, so it's all love.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, so C. Wells gonna be rocking with me tonight. We're gonna preview Bama State versus Southern. We going down to Baton Rouge this Saturday. Got to preview the big game. But before we get started, man, please make sure y'all hit the like button. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already, and share this to your people. Anybody who is on the Bama State train right now, any Southern fan out there you may know, send them over here right now and tell them we locked in with C. Wells and SWAC Talk, baby. Now, there go Rick Body. Speaking of Rick Body,
hello, my boy.
There he is.
Hey, what's up, Big Rick? What's going on with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got some good people that check in with us, man. The show is growing and we're in the right direction. So we're going to preview Bama State. First of all, before we do the Bama State Southern preview, man, I want to know your takeaways from – now, I did my recap show on Bama State UAB. Southern and Mississippi Valley State, that was a real tight, close game. I didn't get to see it, so I want from you, just give me your biggest takeaway from the Southern Mississippi Valley State game this past weekend.
All right, well, first off, if I had to describe that game, man, it was consistently inconsistent, man. If you ever seen a game where you got the opportunity to kind of put it away, but you just can't, that's really what that game was. It was tight first quarter. I think with 3-3. Our starting quarterback Jalen Woods went out with an injury. He doing well. He day to day. Obviously gonna be out this week in concussion protocol. But
right.
You know, he at least traveled back with the team after the game Saturday, so that's always a good sign. So we just pulling for him. But ended up scoring after he went down, went up 10-3. got it. I think they came back and cut it to 10-6, and then they scored again and went up. I think they went up 13 to 10 off a big play, and then we scored right before half and got the ball. Well, got the ball in the second half off of a fumble, went up 24-10, and I thought we was cruising at that point. 24-13, excuse me. I thought we was cruising at that point. Right. We fumbled back-to-back possessions. They returned one to the 1. We held them to a field goal. The next one they returned on the very next possession, they returned it 38 yards for touchdown. So they cut it 24-22. They missed 2-point conversion. And then we kicked field goal, fourth quarter, scored a touchdown. And then they scored with like a minute and a half left or 2 minutes to cut it to 34-29, which is what the final score was. But we, I thought we had the game in control before those fumbles, which made the game look a little bit worse, a little bit closer than what it was. But they came out, man. I swear they came out with everything. They threw everything else. First play was a wide receiver pass. The first punt they did, man, they lined up with 2 guys in the punt position. I never seen 2 punters standing next to each other. I don't know if that was a trick play or if they were gonna punt it or whatever. The guy ended up running and lost a lot of yardage, but they did a reverse they did a double pass to the quarterback. They tried everything. So and we, obviously we didn't have no tape on them. So, we just kind of had to feel our way through it, but we survived, and that's really all I can ask, man. I didn't think it was gonna be more than a 10-point game anyway. So I was basically satisfied. We had a few lapses, but not as bad as week 0.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. At least y'all won the game, because that week 0 game, y'all pretty much got ran over. We're not even gonna talk about that one, C. Wells. I'm gonna let that one die down right now.
I didn't flush that one, man. Like, I don't even remember who we played. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. Yeah. But I took a couple notes, and I'm gonna get to those when I talk about keys to victory and whatnot. But as you guys probably, if you haven't seen my recap of the UAB Bama State, is on the channel. I did it last Friday. But that game was back and forth. It was shootout. It was a classic to me, instant classic. One of those games, like video game type numbers. Andrew went off. Everybody know what he did, and he showed the world what he can do. And it's only the beginning. But we went against a FBS school, in UAB, and we held our own pretty much. So if it's no moral victory, so to speak. But if you had to give one, you would give one to Bama State for that. But we don't want the moral victory. We just want to build on that. And I was at the press conference this morning with Coach Eddie Robb, Jalen Jones, and Andrew Body after practice, and Coach Eddie was pretty much saying, okay, we're gonna build on this previous game. We saw a lot of good things, put a lot of good tape out there, and he also mentioned some guys like defense has to do better, and he mentioned alignment and assignment. So that's all. It's important. You got to know your assignment and you got to know your alignment, and that's kind of why our defense was off that game. So I expect the defense to be better, and this offense is going to flourish, right? We had 4 wide receivers catch touchdowns, 4 different receivers catch touchdowns, and he mentioned that, okay, we had these guys on their 3rd year, Ajah Harrell, Jalen Jones, Asa Gregg, recruited by Jacoby Jones, God rest his soul, and he told E-Rob these guys are going to be great, but it's a process. Freshman year, you red shirt. Second year, you play a handful of snaps here and there. Now this is your 3rd year, and I'm talking about Ajah Harrell, Jalen Jones, and Asa Gregg. Now you can flourish, and we saw them break out last week, and also the transfer Dylan DeJet. So that's only 4 guys. We got probably like 4 or 5 more guys out there who's capable of making the big plays and scoring touchdowns. So Andrew Body is going to do his thing, and Andrew has a lot of weapons at his disposal, and I feel like it's going to be a great time down there at Baton Rouge. Now we're going to get to the score predictions and all that later, but C. Wells, let's just go and preview this thing, man. First of all, you mentioned your quarterback. The quarterback got injured, right? They started Woods.
Yeah, he went down.
McCoy's going to start, right?
Yeah. McCoy going to get the start. Now he got, I don't know what happened, but he got a little nicked up at the end of the last game. Mm-hmm. He obviously is good to go, but he's going to be the starter. This is like the first week that everybody know who the starter is from day one. So, for whatever that's worth, we're gonna go with that. But obviously McCoy, big arm, man. He's a guy. He throws an effortless deep ball. But I still think he kind of gotta get his accuracy down, and he gotta trust those short routes. He more of a boom or bust type of dude. Like if you remember, I don't know, a lot of y'all remember back in the day when Georgia Tech was running like the flex bone and stuff, and how they would just have like one receiver that ran go routes all day.
Yes, Georgia Tech.
That's all they had was, they run the ball 40 times and throw a deep ball. That's kind of what our offense looked like, but that's not what's gonna get it done. We do got a good tight end that I would love to see get more involved. Dupree Fuller, second team all conference guy. He had about 2 or 3 catches in the game Saturday. So if they get him involved, that helps our offense a lot. Running back by committee, we got 4 or 5 guys that run the ball, not counting quarterback. So we will run the football. That's gonna be known. That's no surprise to nobody.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna have to stop the run. That's part of my keys to victory I'm gonna get to. I got a couple guys I want to ask you about. That's your quarterback right there. But this kid right here, man. So he's on the watch list right now. So tell me about this kid. It's on your defense.
Kelby Givens.
Yes, sir.
Electric, man. He has one of the quickest first steps I've seen from a defensive end in my life. On our level, I'm gonna put it that way. And I've seen, guys like Jordan Lewis play at Southern, and guys like that. Even a guy like Jason Dumas, who was a defensive tackle, but he was one of the quickest guys I ever saw as well. But he had a better game this week than the week before, because number one, he wasn't going against the caliber offensive line, so he was able to flourish. 3.5 tackles for loss, I think 2 sacks. Real disruptive. He's a guy that if he get back there, he gonna either flush the quarterback or he gonna make the play. He don't miss very many tackles, but somebody else has to step up on that defensive line that allow him to work. If nobody else, because we basically returning. He's the only true starter returning from last season on the D line. So yeah, somebody has to step up at the other defensive end spot. We have a couple of guys been playing. They played better last game, but until somebody does that, he's going to get all the attention. Right. And, when you get double team, you're getting chipped, you got tight ends thrown at you, backs and all of that. Even they run at you, you really can't make the plays that you need to make. And sometimes he do get a little frustrated by that. And he might try to do more than his job at times. But when he's able to work, it is very few guys in our league that's gonna block him. So I feel like if he wins this battle, then our defense is gonna play well. When he loses this battle, then our defense is gonna get exposed. So he's the real deal, man. He been playing at Southern since he was a freshman, starting since his sophomore year, and he done put in the work. Real humble, quiet kid. Everybody say that about their guys, but he's a real guy. You talk to him, man, you kind of have to ask him to speak up because his voice is so low. But on the field, he a dog, man. He a dog, And I'm honestly surprised we got him back, but he said he wasn't influenced by the money people were throwing at him. So, that's a blessing for us.
Yeah, I heard about him last year too. I was like, man, this kid here. So I'm not surprised to see him on the watch list. For the college football player of the year. So now he's gonna be going up against that offensive line that we have, and I'm real high on my offensive line. Desmond Penn, Cameron Smith, Desmond Daniels, Zach Perkins, Phillip McLean, so Jeremiah Frazier. I feel like we got like 6 starters on that O-line. And they held their own against UAB. Gave Andrew time to throw the ball. We didn't get pushed around. So I feel like that was a great test for them. So your defense, and I don't know how good you will say your defense is, but our O-line, I feel like is I don't want to say elite. I don't want to put that much pressure on them, but they're pretty damn good. And I think he's gonna have a hard time getting Andrew Body.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern in any game is when you face a solid offensive line, they're gonna be able to, they're gonna be able to hold their own against him, which is why I say that he's more the more important guys on our defensive line are the other guys, because he's gonna make his plays at time and he's gonna get all the attention. So when he's getting all the attention, then somebody else is gonna have to step up. And like I said, we got new defensive tackles. We got a guy named Habib Bello playing in the middle. He's a big guy. I think his first game was Saturday. So he did a pretty good job of plugging the middle up. But what our biggest issue was Saturday was containing the quarterback. We get back there and he just take off from where we came from. And the difference between that kid and Andrew is Andrew gonna score if he get loose.
Right.
So we can't rush back there, too wide. You got to be disciplined, and our defense is more of a pressure-oriented defense. We play a lot of man-to-man, and we blitz a lot. So we have to be in good position, and we have to tackle. I think this season, early you always have a problem with tackling. That's an issue that most teams have early.
Yeah,
we don't really do it as much. Yeah, because you don't do it as much as you used to back in the day. So you adjusting to things as the game go on. And I think our linebackers are really good. Vince Page is I think first team all conference guy preseason. And then we have a guy, Mike Jones, who is a experienced guy. He's stepping into the other linebacker spot. We run a 4-2-5. So our linebackers are solid. Our secondary, they hadn't played up to their potential. They've been kind of picked on a little bit, but they've been solid. A lot of guys that played last year in that group. We got a couple of newcomers in there. Zay Franks, who came from Southern Miss. Him and Traylon James, who came from Prairie View. They aggressive hitters. I think our biggest problem on defense is forcing turnovers. We can't catch the football. I never seen a secondary drop so many passes in my life, man. We dropped on the first drive against Valley. We dropped 3 interceptions on the first drive alone. And I'm not talking about, diving interceptions or, trying to one-hand it. I'm talking about just textbook, catches, including a couple could have been pick sixes. But we have to be able to secure the ball. And because you can't give a good offense multiple chances. You can do that against Valley. You can't do that against a team that scored 42 points against an FBS team.
Right.
If you got a chance to stop them and get off the field, you got to stop them and get off the field. And so I think that's our biggest concern is, can we secure the ball when we get it? Because when you just dropping interceptions, it messes with your head too. You start to think about the misses. And then, we had one play that killed us Saturday where our guy went for the interception and the receiver kind of just came under him and caught the ball. And because it was man on man, he missed the interception. Guy was gone, but we ended up catching him before he scored. But those kind of plays can kill you in a game like this. So we just got to, be focused and do our jobs and not really try to do more than what's there.
Yeah. Shouts out to Kilpatrick, man, in the chat. He's right, man. Andrew has turned, this team, this is what we expected Andrew Body last year, but the injury happened. So he's healthy now. And but I was gonna ask you, these two kids right here on the Niels Williams watch list. You didn't mention them.
Oh, our safeties, yeah. Well, actually, I indirectly talked about one of them, Horatio Johnson. He dropped a couple interceptions, but he's a guy who typically would catch the ball. He's been at Southern, he's a senior. He's been at Southern a long time, been starting off and on his whole career. Solid guy, very experienced. Herman Bristol III, he came from Air Force. He played at Southern last year, transferred from Air Force the year before. Last year, transferred from Air Force. He's a hitter. He's that guy, that safety that's gonna try to come up and knock your block off. they very solid back there. So that's kind of one of the things that got me scratching my head a little bit about our secondary, because our safeties are both experienced, and our corners are too, but we just haven't really put it all together. So you're gonna see Bristol and you're gonna see Johnson around the ball all the time. It's just important for them when they get them opportunities to make the play and get that turnover that they get it. But you will see three. Bristol, he went 3 this year. He went 3 this year instead of 21. So you can see 3 and 2 all day. You're gonna hear their names all day. So I mean, whether it's down the field or in the box, they're gonna be there making plays at some point.
Well, y'all heard it from C. Well. We gonna see 3 and 2 all over the ball.
They gonna be there, man. Cause like I said, we don't play a lot of guys, so we don't rotate too much in the secondary. So you're gonna see the majority of our guys out there, and they're gonna be. I like to tell people, man, our secondary typically is handsy, so y'all gonna be, they're gonna want to put their hands on you and be physical. So if we can influence some things, then that's gonna work. But it's all gonna start up front, though. We gotta get solid play up front to allow them guys the opportunity to work.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, good breakdown of your defense, man. For anybody tapping in, we talking about the game this week, man. Game of the week for a lot of people on the SWAC schedule, man. Alabama State going to Baton Rouge to face the Southern University Jaguars. And that game is at what, 6 p.m. y'all time?
6 p.m. And I will say this is Bama State's first trip to Baton Rouge since 2016. So, man, I've really been looking forward to seeing you guys back in Baton Rouge because it's been a long, long time.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and you see Rick Biden, Andrew undefeated against Southern.
Oh, he already know. I know.
Yeah, you from TSU days. You already know.
Oh yeah, freshman and sophomore year, man. One year they shut us out. So yeah, I'm well aware.
So everybody in the chat, man, we appreciate y'all in the chat watching the show, checking us out, man. We previewing this game. But while y'all here, if you ain't got your gear, you need to get to it, man. Go to the yardapparelbrand.com. Get you some Bama State gear. I got my shirt on right here, throwback ASU Hornet. We got the homecoming shirts coming real soon. Got the cardigans out there. All the gear is right on the website, the yardapparelbrand.com. Go get you some, and we suited up, booted up all season. So Kill Patrick excited, boy. He said he ain't seen ASU like this since 91.
I would at least said like 04. That team was solid too, man. Now, 91 was special, but yeah. I like that 04 team too. Y'all had.
Yeah. Kill Patrick went back to 91, baby.
Oh yeah, he went way back in the day. I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. So yeah. All right. So what we doing? Previewing the game now. I want to take a minute to talk about the depth chart. Now, last week I was on here talking about my depth chart and I was confused. But I said, okay, maybe that's a dummy depth chart. Maybe that depth chart is just, maybe Coach Eddie Raw trying to fool y'all, because we saw a whole lot of different players out on that field making plays, like I mentioned, my wide receivers who wasn't on the depth chart of that game last week. Jah Harrell, Dylan DeJet, Azel Gregg, Jalen Jones, they were not starters on the depth chart, but they caught touchdowns. We saw a lot of different guys play, and I mean, you would never know with our receivers and our running backs, man. I really think Jamari Holtzclaw is due. He played very well against UAB, but coming back from that injury, he got injured in the Madison City Classic last year. So that was his first game back. And I think once he really get going, it's going to be a game. And you better hope it's not this week that he gets going and he explodes for 150 plus, because I feel like he has that impact. Jabari Kirkendale didn't run the ball a lot last game, but he's explosive as well. We got the big back, Marcus Harris the second. Marcus Harris the third, no, the second. Carl Ligon, the speedster. So we got
former Southern Jag. That's a former Southern Jag.
Former Southern Jag. Yeah, see, you know about him. So hey,
I was sad that kid left Southern, man. He had a great freshman year in 22.
See, that's what I'm saying. We got a loaded backfield, man. We got Ashton Ashford, man, J.R. Gardner. We are loaded. We are loaded in the backfield. And a question was asked today at the press conference about our backs, and yeah, they're gonna get it. So we are. I want to say we know Holsclaw and Kirkendale is 1 and 2, but after that, you don't know who's gonna get the ball and who's gonna make an impact. Andrew ran for over 100 yards himself. So as a team, we ran for over 200 yards. Now you guys have given up some yards. Well, you gave up some yards the first game of the season, but will you be able to stop our running attack if you're keying in on Body? Because like you mentioned, Body had UAB thrown off their game. They didn't know what to do because he had a guy on the perimeter, he just shake him. Body gets in the open field, you're not going to catch him. Oh, yeah. And he's hard to take down because he's strong. So once we get that going, you got to watch out for the receivers because these guys get open. You mentioned your guys being handsy and being flying around the ball, but that Jalen Jones is a threat. He can catch the ball. He has great hands. He's a speedster. And we got some guys who I don't even want to mention. We got a guy that's he may or may not play at Southern this week, but I'm telling you, he is a threat at the wide receiver. I'm not even gonna mention him yet because he hasn't played yet.
Tell him not to travel this week. Tell him.
No.
Whatever going on, tell him take another week to get ready.
Hey, we
got enough responsibilities.
we suiting up, booting up, man. Hey, y'all parents said they got some gift for you, so got some Southern gift.
Tell them to hit me up, man. And I love to represent, man. I like that gift.
Yeah, you got some 5 Southern gift for sure. Now, all right. So I was talking about the running game, man. I got some notes, man, on the keys to victory. We got to stop the damn run. Now, y'all ran for 249 against North Carolina Central. Had an 80-yard and a 69-yard touchdown run. And then you ran for 212 against Valley on 50 attempts.
Oh yeah, we gonna run the ball. That's not because that's just Mark Frederick offense. He gonna run the football. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna tell you right now, you're gonna see a lot of inside zone. You're gonna see a lot of inside zone. And he loved, ever since the time at Prairie View, he's a guy that he loves to run the football. He was a fullback in college, so he got that running mentality. And like you say, he ran for over almost 250 against Central, but that was a lot of big plays. We ran the ball against Valley. It was more consistent runs. 4 hill, 5 hill, 8. Not a lot of big runs. I think we had 1 or 2 huge runs. We had like a 25-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter, but it was more of a controlled running game that day. I don't really expect us to run the ball 50 times on Saturday, but I think we will run the ball. That's just what we do. And especially with McCoy back there, the threat of the run is always going to be there because he's a runner. Probably runner first and then a passer. Got Mike Franklin, a big back, 6'2", 225, played at Jacksonville State and UTEP. Guy that, one of the tough guys to bring down. Of course, we got Trey Holly, who came from LSU. He's still getting in football shape. He got banged up a little bit Saturday, but that's a kid that hasn't played football in over a year, so he's still kind of rounded in shape in football. The football shape. We got a couple young backs, Jason Gabriel from New Orleans and Barry Remo, a Baton Rouge kid. Those we got 8 backs on the roster, but we played 4 on Saturday, and like I said, plus McCoy, there's 5 guys that can run the ball. So you're gonna see a lot of that. McCoy, he gonna run some read option, but he also still a guy that's a threat to just take off on his own. So he's fast. He got good speed and he's elusive. My concern with Southern right now is the passing game. We dropped a ton of passes Saturday. Our backup tight end dropped a wide open seam route. He could have walked in the end zone if he caught it. We dropped a couple other passes on that drive before we had a nice touchdown pass to Darren Morris, who was our top wide receiver. we're still looking for that number 2 guy. You know, like y'all got so many guys.
Yeah.
We got numbers, but we still don't have that guy to step up to be that number 2 guy. So we got Darren Morris, our number 1 receiver, and Dupree Fuller, our top tight end. Those are our threats. We're still looking for somebody to step in and be consistent in the other spots. So I think we're going to continue to be run heavy until we can get that consistent passing game going.
Yeah. So you mentioned McCoy is a runner. So yeah, Coach Erod was like, yeah, so we don't have to worry about the 2 quarterback system. You know, we praying for Woods because he did get carted out, and he's doing what he's doing better. But he's not going to play this week. So yeah, McCoy, and I saw he had like 90 yards rushing last week, didn't he? 90 yards rushing.
He threw. I think last week he ran for about 35.
That was the week before then.
Yeah, he ran for 92, I think, in the SWAC Challenge. He ran for about 35, 40 yards this week. He threw the ball for about 85. So his passing numbers got a little bit better. He did have a 35-yard touchdown pass, which was a beautiful throw. He just dropped it in there over shoulder to Morris. Yeah. Like I said, just for him, it's just gonna be trusting the offense, you know, and not having to hit that big ball down the field all the time. If he can hit the guys short and let them work and trust that, then that's gonna make it better for him because everybody's gonna load up the box. They already know you're gonna run the ball. I mean, it's no secret we're gonna run the football. I honestly, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if teams played, you know, a ton of guys in the box and dare us to beat them with the throw. Because you also, you know, once you do that, you also kind of taking him out the equation as a runner. So he's gonna have to make them kind of open up, and then things will start to pick up. Because even Valley, when as soon as they seen him come in the game, they just started loading up before we even started running too many plays. So they already knew. So you're gonna have to be able to throw the ball, even if we don't throw it a lot. You got to be throw it enough, and you know that's gonna be the equation to win for us is to be able to throw, you know, when you want to, not when you have to.
When you have to, yeah. So you're gonna have to average 4 or 5 yards a carry to keep those drives going. You can't just get 2 yards here, then another 3 yards. You're gonna be on 3rd and 5. You're gonna have to throw the ball in.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I can bet you this that Jaleel Lenoir, Kayvon Henderson, our linebackers are gonna have a lot of tackles, especially if you guys talking about running the ball. But we have to stop that. That's one of the key. I'm saying we have to stop that run. I want to see, because the guys at UAB, I mean, the guy they had at number 4, Jackson, he was a beast. I mean, he ran for over 170 yards. He was the leading rusher in that game. But tackling was alignment and assignment was really what we preaching this week. But tackling, you have to wrap up and make those tackles. So I expect to see that Black Swarm defense come to Baton Rouge. I expect them guys to swarming and tackling and making things happen. We didn't get any turnovers, and we didn't get to the quarterback either. So with you guys having a runner as a quarterback, so to speak, I don't think we have to worry about your quarterback sitting back there going through progressions and, you know, sitting back there for 5 Mississippi going through progressions. So I think, like you mentioned, stacking the box and trusting our corners on your receivers. And I think if we do that, I give the advantage to Bama State on that. Now, you're not saying you guys can't run the ball, because that's what you guys do. We just have to kind of stop or limit that. We can't let you guys run over 200 yards on us, and definitely can't run no damn 50 times, because if you run the ball that many times, that means you winning the game.
Yeah, and that, to me, even if you look at what we did in the SWAC Challenge, we still ran the ball like 30-something times, and we lost by 17. So we gonna run the football. And Coach Gray was actually saying, you know, we didn't run more because we fell behind with chasing points. So that's gonna be what we do. You know, we're gonna run the football. We just have to be able to make those timely throws to keep teams off balance. And like you said, we got to stay out of 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 6s, which means we have to avoid penalties. We had a couple false starts, holdings and things like that. We gotta stay ahead of the chains. I mean, everybody offense do. You know, that's the key to anybody offense. But some offenses are more capable of picking up a 3rd and 5 because you trust your passing game. So I don't want to be in a lot of third and longs. I mean, McCoy going to get you out of a couple of them because of his legs, but I don't want that to be our game plan. You don't want to thrive on broken plays. You want to have some structure in your offense. So I think as the season goes on, if he's our guy, then that's gonna have to be the case. With Woods, I don't really worry about that because he's more of a passer and he's gonna make those throws. But we got to play with what we got this week, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. And another key, man, for Bama State, I feel like, man, be disciplined. Cut down on the penalties. We had a couple of penalties that could have not been penalties on that game, but we're not gonna harp on that. But we definitely have to be disciplined and take care of the football. We only had the one mishap turnover, the backwards pass fumble. It was a key moment in the game that kind of flipped the momentum, and we had that fair catch that was, we waited for the fair catch, but Hickson caught the ball and ran because he didn't see the guy waiting for the fair catch. So that was key too, because that put us at the 5-yard line, kind of put us in a hole for a minute. So just a couple mistakes. We just got to make sure to do the little things, right? Do the little things and play disciplined football, especially on the road, because you're not going to get no sympathy from the refs, and you're going to be in a hostile environment here in Baton Rouge. I believe it was a lot of Bama State fans in Birmingham at that game. It kind of felt like at moments, it felt like a home game for Bama State. Late in that game, it felt like people wanted the upset. This week, I think it's going to be all Southern. You mentioned we hadn't played there since 2016, so that's damn near 10 years. So none of these guys have played in Southern, except Andrew Body, right?
No, we played him in Dallas 2 times.
Okay.
So he hadn't even played there, but So honestly, man, like I would say probably the only person I don't know y'all whole staff, but Eddie Robinson probably the only person on your team who even been in Mumford. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, we had a couple of guys that we had a kid transferred out, so it's only a couple of people that's even been in Mumford. So it's gonna like I say, first game at home, it's electric. So I expect the atmosphere to be great. It would be a little bit different if we had lost Saturday. Y'all probably been walk in and walk out if we lost Saturday because nobody would have showed up. I'm just gonna be honest, but I think home game, you're 1-1. It's always that energy for the first game, so it's gonna be electric, and everybody gonna be rowdy. So I expect a great atmosphere, man. So and hopefully we can do our part and make it a game.
Yeah. We're gonna get the predictions in a minute, but I got one more kid. I'm gonna I want to give this guy some more love too, man. My guy Andrew Body, man. So offensive player of the week in the SWAC. You see the numbers right there, man. 312 yards passing, 119 on the ground, 4 touchdown passes. He had the long 60-yard touchdown run. But look at the completion percentage. 18 for 24, 75% right there. So and he did that, like we say, against a FBS school. My third and final key to a victory is let Body cook. O-line, do your job. Yes, we have to establish a balanced attack. We have to run the ball just to keep y'all honest. So y'all just won't be sitting back there, trying to cover all the receivers. And you can't do that anyway because Body's so dynamic. He's a dual threat.
You're going to have to account for him.
Yeah, you got to count. You definitely got to count for Body as a runner as well. But I expect us to run the ball too, just to keep y'all off balance. But man, this was a excellent performance in a loss too. I mean, but the effort was there. The plays were there to be made, and like Hornet Sam said, we had a few drops. But all in all, man, what you think about Body's performance?
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this. I missed I missed UAB first possession. So when I turned the game on, because we had SWAC smoke. So when I turned the game on, the first thing I see is Andrew running down the field for 60 yards. I just shook my head. I said, "Oh Lord!" I wouldn't even think about that game no more. I was thinking about our game. I was like, "Oh Lord, we're gonna have our work cut out for us." Yeah. My first play, I see him streaking down the field. I'm like, so that locked me into that game for sure. But really, the thing that impressed me the most about that game, man, was 13 or 15 on third down.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Scoring 42 points, 13 or 15 on third down. That they honestly never stopped you. That's what that basically says. You know, you were able to do what you wanted to do for the bulk of the game, and we can't have that. You know, we got to cut that way down, which means we're gonna have to make plays on third down. We're gonna have to make first down plays and get y'all behind the sticks a little bit. But those are two things that stood out to me the most, more than anything, was like I said, that long run just off rip, and then 13 or 15, man. That just that when I saw that number in the stat sheet, I was like, that I mean, you don't get that sometimes playing against Ever Waters or somebody, you know what I'm saying? So like
right.
to do that against UAB, which that says a lot on the road at that first game. Yes. You might have one of them kind of performances later in the season, but first game, after your quarterback been out for the year, that says a lot, man. So it was a really impressive performance all around.
Yeah. And you mentioned that 13 for 15, man. That is it's hard to do that. It's so difficult to go 13 for 15. And I said this on my recap that we dominate. We dominate. If you look at the numbers, just take the score away and just look at the numbers. We had more first downs. The third down efficiency was off the chains. Total yards was neck and neck, pretty much the same. That completion percentage, we had 200 yards rushing as well. And we ran the ball 41 times. Plus, we controlled the time of possession. But the only thing we lost in was that we had the one turnover. We had a couple more penalties than they had. And they ran the ball. They had 7.8 yards per carry. And so if the team has 7.8 yards per carry and runs for 273 yards, that's kind of, and then they also had almost 250 yards passing. But all in all, man, for the competition we went up against, and for Andrew to do what he did, it was incredible. And that's why everybody's been talking about it all week. But I tried to tell you guys, and I know you guys on SWAC Smoke have been high on Andrew Body too, that he was coming. Now he's arrived.
Yeah, and like I say, I really, like I said, I really was looking like, man, I wish our game was later in the season, even though it probably worse then. But at least I would have felt a lot more comfortable knowing we got more games under our belt. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, man, I love to watch Andrew play. Like I said, been watching him play since he was at TSU as a freshman doing damage. And we done had some arguments with people about him. So I didn't roll. I didn't roll. I still got my TSU Andrew Body shirt in the closet that I still wear around Baton Rouge, and I'm gonna get beat up for wearing. Okay. But I support him, man. I love his fam, and so, man, I'm looking forward to seeing him in action. But like I said, we just got to find a way to manage this game, and if we can do what we capable of doing, I think we can make a game out of it. I do have one other key I want to throw in there, and it's huge for us, and that's special teams. Our punt game is erratic. We have a freshman kicker. He's solid. He missed one field goal Saturday, but he got a strong leg, but he's a freshman. And you can't really account for freshmen, especially in a game like this with a lot of emotion. And it's the first home game. He's from Baton Rouge, so your nerves and stuff going to be going crazy. But he's a solid kicker. I think he's going to be better as time go on. But I really look forward to seeing what he can do. But we have to punt better, and our return game has been very. I want to find a nice word to say for it, but it hasn't really been productive. I'm gonna put it that way. Yeah. It hasn't really been productive. We did have a 40-yard return on Saturday, which was the longest one I've seen in a long time. But we have to be better at that. We can't shake punts. I mean, we can't shank punts. We can't do none of that. Can't get Bama State free field position. We just can't. So we have to be operating on all cylinders there.
Yeah, for sure. Special teams is really key. Like I mentioned, we had a special teams blunder that kind of set us back, put us behind the 8 ball, so to speak. We didn't have to trot out a kicker out there. I think we scored all touchdowns. So we didn't worry about having to kick. So but you on the road, man, it's very key to have your special teams on point, things like that. You may have a punt that you have to get a team, pin them in within the 10-yard line, 5-yard line. That's key. That's field position. Like you say, a key field goal at the end of the half or something to break a tie. That's a key moments of the game. And your return, because some of those you're gonna have to make some plays. You're not gonna be fair catching every time. I think we have a dynamic guy, Nehemiah Hickson. When he gets going, I think when he gets the ball in his hand, he's a small kid, but guess what? He's fast, he's electric, and y'all gonna probably see him out there too on Saturday. So special teams is definitely a big key, man. We're gonna get to score predictions in a minute. I saw a score prediction out there. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there from my dog Kilpatrick. Off the rip, he say 49-23 ASU. That sounds pretty good to me.
Y'all thinking, hey, I'm not gonna argue with y'all. I'm on y'all turf. I come in peace. But if y'all scored 49 points, I'm gonna just say we played a horrible game. We did a lot wrong. And I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that to be cocky or nothing like that. I'm just saying if we give up 40 points plus to anybody, we played a horrible game. I mean, you can say that for most teams, but we can't go score for score with nobody right now. So if the score get that high, then we did a lot wrong. Y'all did a lot right. And my show gonna be very spicy that next day. But I don't know if you want to get into that now, you want to wait, but I'm favoring Bama State in this game. Honestly, even though I got my blue and yellow on, I think y'all playing better, at least, off of the first game, y'all playing more consistently than we have. And so we have a lot of questions to answer. To me, I'm a tough person to please with Southern. So I'm always a little bit harder, but I think there's an avenue we can win the game. But I really feel like we have to really control the game to win it. We can't go score for score with y'all. We can't. We just can't make the mistakes that we've been making. So we have to play like a team playing their third game, as opposed to a team playing their second game. You know what I'm saying? So, man,
Hey,
like I said, I'm not arguing over here, man. I argue on my show. I'm just gonna take it in, man. Like I say, if the score get that high, then we got whooped. I ain't even gonna lie to you, but I see it being a mid-20s type of game because we can't get the score high because we just not built like that. So we have to really keep it. We have to really keep it tight, and to play like that, you have to almost play mistake-free football. And I'm not quite sure we can do that at this point. So I think we just have to roll the dice and see what happens. But I'm thinking more like 27-21, 27-24. If we can, we tap out at like 25 points typically. So I'm just looking forward to keep it close and see what happens. And maybe we get some fourth quarter magic that we get every now and then. So that's my only thing. Let's just play it out and keep ourselves in the game, and not give up a lot.
Yeah,
that's the key. But
if it's in the 20s, then y'all got a chance. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, if it get higher than that, man, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I would be, and some people from Southern probably look at me like I'm crazy, but I'm a realist, man. Like, I don't foresee this being the kind of team that can go in there and go toe to toe with people, So we have to be able to keep it close. I'm just saying, man. I'm not gonna come on nobody. I'm not gonna come out here and be like, man, we're gonna put a 50 piece on y'all because I can't, man. I couldn't say that with a straight face. But if we do score now, if we do find a way to put points on the board, then I think we will have control of the game. But right now, I just don't have a whole lot of just unwavering confidence in how we playing right now. But it's possible that we go. I don't think we're gonna blow it out though. But I think we're gonna make a game out of it because typically we end up doing that most times.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's why I had to bring you on. I know you're gonna keep it real, even though you're a Southern guy. I already know. I said, man, see, we're gonna keep it 100 when he come on the show. So you're not gonna be unrealistic. And I know a lot of people get on there and they, every time your team play, you're gonna score 50 points, you're gonna blow them out. But no, it's not. It's not realistic. So I appreciate you for keeping it on 100, man. And shouts out to Kilpatrick Southern game dedicated Craig Hall, man. Rest in peace, Craig.
Shout out to my boy Craig, man. Man, like I say, that news broke me, man. I actually talked to Craig that same night.
Wow.
That night he passed, I talked to him that evening, and so, man, hey, we were gonna link up for the game. That's what really, that's what really made this game special for me. We were gonna connect on Saturday. So, this game got a lot of emotion around it, man, and I'm just looking forward to a good game, man. I'm just glad we finally, man. Man, tell Rick don't bring that game up, man. I finally forgot about that game, man. 24 to nothing.
Remember the 24-0.
Man, I finally forgot about that game, man. That game was in 2022, man, and I finally forgot about that game. now I got to think about it again.
Yeah. Shout out Rick Body for bringing it up. But yeah, man, I mean, rest in peace, Craig Hall, man. He rocked with both of us, man, and real close. Andrew's uncle, real close to the family, real close to us. He reached out to me last year after the spring game when I did like a recap show of the spring game when I saw Andrew, and he stood out to me, and I was like, man, this kid's gonna be special. And Craig was one of the first ones, Rick Body Craig. And, it's sad to see that, man, because, he always would text back and forth with me, too. So, but, yeah, they definitely said he had this game circled. So, Andrew, he's going to be playing with a heavy heart, man. And he did that on last week. He dedicated that one to his grandfather. And then he going to dedicate this one to Craig. So, Andrew he said, looking 50. He said, Andrew looking for 50. That's what Kilpatrick just said.
They can look, man, but we're going to try to put up a fight. We're going to try our best to put up a fight, man.
Hey, Hunter Sam,
just put it that way.
45-10 ASU BTA, baby. Hey, put y'all, come on with the scope picks, baby. Come on with the scope picks. Hey, I like it. So let me get mine, though. I'm not gonna go 50 piece. I'm gonna keep a modest 42. I'm gonna go 42-21, man. I'm gonna go 42-21, 3 touchdown Bama State. I give y'all 20. Like you say, y'all gonna stay in the 20s. But I feel like it's gonna be hard for y'all to stop Bama State with this offense doing what we doing right now. I know it's on the road, so we're not gonna play a perfect game. It's probably impossible to play a perfect game on the road. If we do that, we're gonna go 50 plus.
Oh, if y'all play a perfect game, then it's over. I'm gonna just go ahead and put it there. We can't match that right now. So we, like I say, it's imperative for us to slow this game down, man. Take the eye out the ball. We got to have some good drives, and we got to score. And I know I said we don't score much, but we got to find a way to score. We got to manufacture points. We're going to have to force a turnover or something, man. Like I said, we gonna need. And if anybody know that been to Southern, y'all know every now and then that some strange things happen. We need that magic Saturday, man, because we gotta make that thing work. Keep ourselves in the game.
Yeah. We got 30-17. That's a good modest score right there by SWAC Fan 100. So I mean, it's possible the game could be tight. Like I say, y'all get some turnovers here, there. Some things happen. And like you say, the environment at C-Wells, and you mentioned the environment. So y'all going to be hyped. Bama State coming in. And it feels like, I know we lost the game, but it feels like we won the game as much as people talking about Bama State right now. People are high. They hound us.
They right now, man, Bama State is being looked at above by a lot of people. And I'm not speaking for y'all, but by a lot of outside eyes, a lot of people looking at Bama State higher than Jackson State right now. So y'all, if you didn't ask somebody what the score was, they would say Bama State won the game. And by right, I feel like y'all should have won the game.
Right.
I mean, hey, Rick was talking last week. He was like, man, it's a winnable game. I was like, I agree, but I didn't think it would get that high. But you play that kind of football, you're gonna be tough to beat. So it just, all I know is if our guys ain't locked in, then ain't nothing gonna lock them in. That's right. So that's what it's all about, man. We just gotta match y'all intensity, match y'all energy, and then go from there. Yeah. So I expect a physical game. I expect us to come out. We have to start fast. If we don't start fast, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I envision us going up by 14 in that first quarter. And then that's how y'all gonna be playing from behind. But see, if y'all get to playing from behind, you can't run the ball 50 times playing from behind. See, well,
so, yeah. Now I will say this: as long as the lead don't get too big, I'm fine, because we as a team the last couple of years we play well when we losing. Now not by like 20, but if we keep it at 10 to 14, we find a way to make a play. So if we keep ourselves in that range, I'm okay with something, because I think we can make it happen. But if that lead keep growing, then we not built to stop that. We can't turn around and start throwing the ball 50 times, because that's just not what we do. So we have to, like you say, we have to keep it to where we could keep running the football, because if we have to stop doing that, then that takes you away from what your main game plan is. And we're not built for that right now. So it's this is an interesting matchup, because like two teams that kind of, they want to do similar things, but they do it in different ways. So we have to, each team got a strength that they're going to have to play to. And that's what makes this a good matchup, because I like matchups of different styles, and that's what this is. And it's basically whoever execute their style the best is gonna win this game.
Right. So now, I mean, everybody see what Bama State's capable of from last week. Y'all got tape on Bama State, so I'm sure they had a whole week prepare. They actually, they had a week to prepare. Bama State played on Thursday, so we had Friday and Saturday. Y'all played on Saturday. Y'all played 2 games. We only played 1. So I think we got more tape on y'all because y'all played twice from this year, but then your quarterback's not gonna be there. So we got 1 quarterback to key in on. So it just feels like, man, I don't see how Bama State can lose this game, but it's on the road, and anything can happen on the road in a place you hadn't played in a long time. So I ain't gonna say y'all don't have a chance, but I'm gonna say it's slim. It's real slim. See,
I'm fine with all that, man. Because like I said, we don't really have a rivalry, so I don't mind y'all saying what y'all gonna do. Because I hear this all the time from them blowing white people. So we consistently already told how bad we is, how bad we're gonna get beat. So I'm fine with it, man. Like I said, I just I take it all in and I enjoy it, and I just I take notes though. just in case, I take notes just in case. Sometimes I throw them away after the game. Sometimes I keep them. So I just I just see what happened. But like I say, the ball is in y'all court, man, and y'all in a good position. I'd rather be in that position than to be in the position we in right now. But we're gonna find out what both teams made of in this game.
Yeah, for sure, man. So man, that about wraps it up, man. So C. Wells, tell the people, you got to tell the people where they can find you, man. I know mostly everybody already know about you, but just in case some people are watching who may not be familiar with SWAC Talk, SWAC Smoke, tell the people about your show and where they can find you, C. Well.
All right, man. Y'all can catch me on SWAC Talk YouTube. I think it's we got SWAC Smoke, which is our live show on Thursday nights, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. I do a bunch of different shows, so I'm always dropping something almost any day of the week. You can catch me on Twitter, which is probably where I'm most active. SWAC Talk 76. And so, man, like I said, that's it, man. Like I say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sometimes we go live on Saturday nights after the games. So we always busy, man. We working on we got a little band show we doing now. So shout out to my boy Jerome. He got a little show doing called the 5th Quarter. So you know, we got a lot of different irons in the fire, man. And like I say, JB, man, I appreciate you having me in here. Man, I appreciate the Hornets for being welcoming. I am gonna bring a can of spray with me for the game, so just in case, you know, I might try to, you know, in case I have to, you know, spin some of y'all off. You know what I'm saying?
That stuff don't work. We gonna swarm, baby. That stuff don't work when when the Hornets swarm. It may work. It on 1 or 2, but it ain't gonna get the whole swarm, baby.
They don't make it like they used to. That stuff used to drop things. That stuff used to drop things right away, but now, you know, you gotta dump it on them. Not to work. But I'm gonna keep. I got a little holster. I'm gonna keep it with me just in case, man. Okay. Just in case.
Yeah. So, shouts out to James Bush, man. Said love the show and the dialogue between us, man. Thank you so much, bro. Jackson State right there.
Hey, man, much love to JSU, man. That's family, man. Like I say, any school in Mississippi is family with me. I'm basically from Mississippi. I'm born in Baton Rouge, but my family from Mississippi, so that's all love. And like I say, I got a lot of love for everybody in the SWAC, man. And so anybody that's doing good stuff, I'm always gonna be with you. And like I said, I'm appreciating the work you're doing. And man, like I say, much love to everybody out there for supporting the show tonight and being active in the chat. And man, I appreciate it, man. Hopefully if anybody coming to Baton Rouge, man, I'm gonna be roaming around. Just look for the dude with the SWAC Talk shirt on. I'll be around all day long on campus. So if you're there, holler at me, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And before we go, once again, man, we got to give it up for the Yard Apparel Brand.com. It's where you get all your gear. I've been seeing people. You see the shirt right here, the ASU Hornet shirt right here, baby. I got more of this. Where it comes from? It comes from the Yard Apparel Brand.com. Shouts out my guy. He also has Southern gear for all you Southern folks watching. He got some 5 Southern Jaguar gear on the web page right there, the Yard Apparel Brand.com. Go check them out. ASU folks, the homecoming shirts are coming soon. So get ready because homecoming is October the 4th, if I'm not mistaken. So y'all gonna want to have them shirts on deck and ready at that time. And there's my boy right there in the chat, the Yard Apparel Brand. And go follow them right there too. So there you go. That's how you get your stuff. Hey, and he throwing a little shot, baby. You can't spell something without the ASU.
I ain't seen that one in a while, man. I appreciate that one. I ain't seen that in a while.
Yeah,
they used to call it sucks. So I'm used to it, man. I love it, man. I love a nice little back and forth. So let's make it happen, man. It's all love. It's all love.
Yeah. Hey, for sure, man. So yeah, tell Jerome to holler at your boy, man, for the FAMU game. I'll be at the FAMU game. And I'm gonna have to get Jerome on my show to preview that game because I already know.
I'll let him know.
He gonna talk some cash money.
I'll let him know tonight, man. I'm gonna hit him up and let him know.
Yeah, Jerome, my boy, man. I met.
Oh, man, Jerome, cool as a fan, man.
I know. I met him last year, man. When fam came to Bama State, man, and yeah. So we got to get y'all. We gonna have to get FAMU back, but it's one game at a time. So we're gonna take out some Jaguar this week. Right, and then we're gonna come back home next week and take care of business before we rest, and then we're gonna go to FAMU. So I already got this thing planned out. See, well, I gotta plan it out.
I mean, like I said, I've been listening to you all preseason, man. I was listening to you when you was on Lionel's show. You know what I'm saying? So I keep tabs now. I might not be in nobody's chats, but I be knowing what's going on, man. I'm like a mama that know, you know what I'm saying, know what you're doing down the street before you know what you're doing. I know, man. I'm aware. I like it though, man. I definitely appreciate the work that you're doing, man. And you holding it down for the Hornets. I like that.
I got to, man. Somebody got to do it, bro. I sure appreciate you, man. The tour guide of the SWAC, man. C. Wells, appreciate you for joining. Please hit the like button. Everybody who watched the show tonight, hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel right here. Go subscribe to SWAC Talk on the YouTube. SWAC Talk is in the description of this show. You go down to the description and you can see, you can just click on the link right there and it take you right to the SWAC Talk page. And share this out to your people, all your Bama State and your Southern folks, man. It's your boy JB, Steve Wells, and we up out of here, man. Much love to everybody. God bless.
Go Jags.